Shri Gurudev. Welcome to biology class. Today we will discuss about plant breeding. Plant breeding. As you know, India is an agricultural country. It is entirely depending upon the agriculture. Agriculture accounts for approximately 33% of the total GDP of the India, and the agriculture has given the employment to about 66% of the population. After the independence, the main challenge faced by the India was the shortage of the food for the increasing population. Hence, the main challenge was to increase the food production. The increasing food production was dependent upon the plant breeding. Plant breeding is a technique which is employed to increase the food production. Even if we follow the traditional farming, even though we use better management practices and as well as the increase in the acreage of land, we cannot increase the food in the traditional farming. Hence, we have to follow the plant breeding technique to increase the production. Is a technique which was followed to increase the food production. With the help of plant breeding technique, we have achieved the green revolution, which was led by Norman E. Borlaug in the world and M.S. Swaminathan in India. Plant breeding, the definition is, the plant breeding is the purposeful manipulation of the plant species to create the desired plant types which make the plant better suitable for the cultivation, and it will produce the better yield and as well as the disease resistant. Here there will be purposeful manipulation of the plant species, that is, we are going to change the genotypic character of the plant to make it suitable for our cultivation, because we need better yield and also it must be disease resistant and it should have other resistance power. Plant breeding was practiced since the human civilization, and the recorded evidence for the plant breeding is about 9,000 to 11,000 years ago. Many crop species which we are cultivating today are the domestication of the wild varieties. They are the domesticated wild varieties. In the classical plant breeding technique, they are using the crossing or the hybridization technique. After the crossing and hybridization, they will artificially select the hybrids and for the desirable traits. It may be nutrition, crop yield, or it may be disease resistant character. Today, due to the advancement in the genetics, molecular biology, and also the development of the genetic tools, we are using the new techniques in the plant breeding for the development of the high yielding varieties. Now we shall know the objectives of the plant breeding. Objectives of the plant breeding. By plant breeding, we can create the plant which is better suitable for cultivation. I have already told you, we can, with the help of plant breeding, we can create the plant which is better suitable for the cultivation. Next, we can improve the quality and also crop yield. We can increase the quality and also the main aim is to increase the crop yield, and we can also develop the plants which are showing increased tolerance to pathogens. Increased tolerance or resistance to pathogens. Pathogens are nothing but the virus, bacteria, and also the fungi. Next, we can also develop the increased tolerance to environmental stress. environmental stress. Environmental stress are nothing but salinity condition, drought, etc. Next, we can also increase the tolerance towards the pests. The pests or the insects which will harm the crop yield. The plant breeding technique is, the program is followed, done in the government institutions and the commercial companies. Today we shall know the steps to create a new genetic variety. There are 5 important steps. First one is collection of the variability, collection of the variability, and second one is the evaluation and selection of parents, evaluation and selection of parents, and the third one is cross hybridization, of the selected plants. Fourth one is selection and testing of superior recombinants, and fifth one is testing, release and commercialization of new cultivar. There are 5 steps for the development of a new genetical variety in the plant breeding technique. First one is collection of the variability, second one is evaluation and selection of parents, third one is cross hybridization of the selected parents, and fourth one is selection and testing of the superior recombinants, and fifth one is testing, releasing and commercialization of a new cultivar. In the first one, collection of the variability. Variability is the root for the plant breeding program. What is genetic variation? Any plant of a particular species will have a different varieties. For example, ragi. Ragi is having the 121 varieties, and these varieties will differ in few characteristics or the few traits which will differ from one another. This difference is referred to as genetic variability. The collection and preservation of this genetic variability is the prerequisite. This genetic variability we can find in the wild varieties. Collection and preservation of these varieties will help to develop a new genetic variety, and the entire collection of all the diverse alleles of all the genes of a particular crop or in a given crop is termed as germplasm collection. Germplasms are maintained in a germplasm collection centers. In India we are having 2 germplasm collection centers, one in the Hyderabad and one in the Delhi, that is National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources in New Delhi and International Crop Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics in the Hyderabad. These 2 centers are maintaining the germplasm collections, and they are helping for the developing a new variety. Next, evaluation and the selection of the parents. Once we know the information about the germplasm of a particular species, we have to evaluate and we have to select the parents for crossing the parents. How will you evaluate? First we will select the plants or the different varieties of the particular species, and in particular species there will be availability of heterozygous as well as the homozygous condition. If more than one allele is present in a plant, it is termed as heterozygous condition. Hence we should eliminate the heterozygous condition and we should select the homozygous condition, and the homozygous plants are further evaluated by growing them in the controlled condition. First we should grow them in the controlled condition and with good protection. After their growth, they are tested for the stress conditions, environmental stress condition. We should test for the pathogens and we should test in the salinity condition or in the drought condition. After the testing, they are also tested in the laboratory conditions to know the information about the biochemicals or the genes which are present in that particular plant. After knowing the information and of both of the tests which are conducted and the result obtained must be recorded, and after knowing the information about the testing in the environmental stress condition as well as in the laboratory condition, it will help the scientists to select the plants for the further process in the plant breeding, and such plants which will show the positive results are selected as the parents. Next one is third one, cross hybridization of the selected plants. Once the parents are selected, they have to cross because the desired traits are present in the two different plants. For example, high protein content is present in one plant and disease resistant character is present in another plant. Disease resistant character is present in another parent. This will be parent 1 and this will be parent 2. These are the selected parents after the evaluation. One will having high protein content and other will having disease resistance. We need these two characters in a single plant, hence we should cross the parent 1 and parent 2, and in the progeny we will obtain several progenies or the several hybrids. In that few will have both high protein content and the disease resistant character. That is done by cross hybridization. Cross hybridization is done by crossing the two parents. You have learnt in the sexual reproduction in flowering plants how the cross hybridization is done. That is done by first we should select the plant, female plant, and we should do the emasculation. Emasculation is nothing but the removing the anthers or the male reproductive part from the bisexual flower. After the removing of the anthers, we have to bag, that is called as bagging. Bagging is nothing but covering the female reproductive part after removing the anthers by a polythene bag. Why it is covered by a polythene bag? To avoid the contamination by the foreign pollen, because we have to cross pollinate with the desirable character. And next step is the collection of the pollen grains from the male parent, that is desired male parent which we have selected as a parent. Next, after the collection, after the female reproductive part has matured, we should brush the pollen grains on the female reproductive part and there will be development of the hybrids. That is about the cross hybridization of the selected parents. Next is selection and testing of the superior recombinants. Once the cross hybridization is done, there will be development of the several progenies. From the several progenies, that they are nothing but the hybrids which are developed from the crossing the two different parents. We have to select the hybrids which are having the desirable combination characters. That is, these two are the desirable characters which we need in the progeny. We should select the hybrids. Once we have select the hybrids, next step is testing, release and commercialization of the new cultivars. First, the hybrids obtained are grown on the research fields. In India, it is the evaluation is done in the Indian In India, the evaluation is done in the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. The selected hybrids, that the seeds are grown on the research fields and they are tested for various stress conditions. Also, they are grown under the ideal irrigation facility, by giving the ideal irrigation facilities and also by the application of the ideal fertilizers and other agricultural requirements, management practices. And after the evaluation in the research fields, they are also tested for the other agronomical traits. It may be high crop yield or disease resistant character or the nutritional value of the crop, etc. Next, after the results are recorded in the research fields, the seeds are grown on the farmers fields for at least 3 seasons. We have to grow the seeds of the hybrid plants which we have developed in the farmers fields for 3 seasons where the crop is growing, that is in the different agroclimatic regions of the India. Next, after the testing in the farmers fields, the other characters are tested and there will be release of the seeds for the commercial purpose, and the character of the released hybrid, it will be compared with the other local cultivar which is already available. Next, in the middle of the 1960s, India has achieved the food production. It has developed the sufficient food for the growing population. It was possible due to the plant breeding techniques. By using the plant breeding techniques, several high yielding disease resistant varieties have been developed. In the period of 1960 to 2000, there was dramatic increase in the food production, that is the wheat production. The wheat production has been increased from 11 to 75 million tons, and that of the rice production has been increased from 35 to 89.5 million tons. It was possible due to the plant breeding techniques, that is Norman Borlaug and as well as in India MS Swaminathan, they have developed the high yielding varieties. Norman E. Borlaug in the International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement Center, he has developed the semi-dwarf wheat varieties. In 1963, semi-dwarf wheat varieties have been introduced in India. Kalyan Sona and Sonalika. Kalyan Sona and Sonalika, these are the 2 important semi-dwarf wheat varieties which are disease resistant, also high yielding varieties, which was introduced in India in 1963. And in case of rice, the several rice varieties, semi-dwarf wheat varieties are developed from IR8 and the Taichung 1. IR8 was developed in the Indian Rice Research Institute and Taichung was developed in the Taiwan. By using these 2 varieties, several semi-dwarf wheat varieties of the rice have been developed, and later Jaya and Ratna, these are the semi-dwarf wheat rice varieties of the varieties were introduced in India. Next, in case of the sugarcane, sugarcane will consist of 2 different varieties, that is Saccharum barberry and another one is Saccharum officinarum. Saccharum barberi, it is grown in North India. It is grown in North, and Saccharum officinarum is grown in South. The Saccharum barberi is having poor yield. It is having poor yield, and it is also having poor sugar content. Poor sugar content. But Saccharum officinarum, which is growing in the South, it is having the high yield and high sugar content. It is having the high sugar content. Also the stem is thick, that is it is having the thick stem. The Saccharum officinarum cannot be grown in the North. Hence they have crossed these two varieties, and the resulted hybrid will have the higher yield. It will show higher yield, higher sugar content, and also thick stem, and the plant can be grown in the North. This is due to the plant breeding technique. And in case of the millets, maize, bajra. In case of maize and bajra, several high yielding varieties have been developed, and also the hybrids which are resistant to water stress conditions are also developed. This is due to the plant breeding techniques.